Hello and welcome back to the PCC HQ for another video diary. We are extremely excited to be here and extremely excited to be doing another video diary for you because it's been a long time since we've seen you. May, in fact, the Bike Shed show. We were toast, but we were super excited back then and we're still super excited now. The workshop is full of new stuff, we're full of new stuff, and so is the website.
Absolutely. With the end of the show, a whole new fresh load of bikes have entered the workshop. Along with some other projects. I think right if you wind back to the beginning of the year, one of our promises to ourselves this year was going to be that we were going to actually ride some bikes. We were going to go meet some people, we were going to do some things, and we've actually finally, now the show's out of the way because it's all deadline, getting to the show. Now the show is done. We've started to do some of the other things we wanted to do this year, including racing motorbikes, building race motorbikes, going to shows, we've got events coming up. There's
developing products and launching them.
Absolutely.
New PCC products.
Absolutely. So there's loads and loads going on. We're not going to go on too much about it in this section because we want to talk about it in the workshop, which is where you're going to find Shu shortly.
Welcome to this month's workshop walk around. We've got lots of unusual stuff to show you, so let's crack on. Okie doke. First of all, to start off with, we have the Purple Machine. The customer came to us with a rather unusual request, and that request was, Stu, Rory, I have a sort of reduced mobility in my right leg, and I essentially want you to put together a thumb brake setup for me. So I essentially have my foot resting on the foot peg, which is going to be far lower and moved forward, as opposed to any function through the right-hand side at all. So that meant I had to jump on the CAD program and use some of our old work run and rear sets as a base and then draw a new rear set from there, which is something that I obviously jumped at, as we always are looking to develop parts, and anything regards fabrication and CAD is right up my street. So off we went. So we started off with essentially what was our work run and rear set. As you can see here, you've got the original foot peg position, or should I say the original mounting point here, and then this is the raw one. Obviously the holes are small and it hasn't been beveled, but you can see that it's significantly moved the foot peg position back and up higher to give us ground clearance for when we're on track. And this is the original sensors for the OEM master cylinder. Putting that to one side and using that as my base, I then adjusted the drawing so that the holes that you can see where it mounts to the frame are now here, and you can see that we have a foot peg hole here, here and here. We have a rear brake pivot here, and then the OEM rear master mounts there. So as you can see, this is not the final product because it's made out of cardboard, but our neighbours next door have a laser cutting machine and they cut this out for us, so we had a template so we could then mock up everything that we got from Howe Performance, which was the Howe Performance front brake kit with the twin port rear master. So having this as part of our development process is super handy because we don't want to send something off to get cut out of 10mm aluminium that we don't know is going to work. So using this process, we ticked every box and realised that it was ready for the process of being cut out. As you can see, it's come together in quite a compact package. We had to upgrade the customer's clutch master cylinder as well, because with the standard OEM master cylinders, it wasn't able to have the clearance to have it all on one side of the handlebar, and we wanted it to make, we wanted the ergonomics of the whole fit to be super handy and also just super functional so that the customer had it all to hand, or should I say, have it all to thumb. So moving on from that, it's come together really slick and we are over the moon with it. So alongside that, the customer was so chuffed, he said, I'll tell you what guys, whilst you got it there, I would like you to do one of your signature airbox removals. I would also like you to then put a unit garage full system, including the unit garage 1 into 2 into 1 system, which is one of our in-house favourites because not only does it sound fantastic, it looks super complicated, but is an absolute sweetheart to fit, as it always is with the unit garage stuff. So putting that one to one side, I think we're pretty much done here. A really interesting project for us to get our teeth into, and let's move on to the next. Here we have a great option of how a bike just needs enhancing and not having loads of colour changes on it. So we have the 719 option Roadster. The customer is having a lighting change on this, airbox removal and a tyre upgrade. So starting with the lighting upgrade, he's having the Motor Gadget bar end indicators. A little bit of a work and a little bit of challenging to install. However, the rewards from when they are fitted outweigh any of that difficulty when doing it, because they are a fantastic compact product and they really bring the profile of the bars into what is an ergonomic position that works fantastic with the overall look of the bike. Going to the rear, he's having the Motor Gadget 3-in-1 indicators, tail and brake stop combined, so that's a nice simple setup. The airbox removal, that's been done in-house by ourselves, obviously because the bike is here, and because of that it's having our signature workshop anodized PCC NCAP DNA filters. Along with that, we have Dunlop Mutants going on to give the bike that wet, dry, hot and cold feel that any rider wants from a tyre, and Dunlop always deliver on that. So with that done and dusted, that concludes this month's workshop walk around. Some interesting stuff going on, but what we're going to do now is we're going to magically turn this into a flat track machine for Rory to talk to you about.
So here we go, another new project. This is one that's been on the cards with us for a little bit of a long time. I'm going to go into this in a more greater depth in a specific work Rennen, which is our factory racing video anyway. That'll be separate on the YouTube channel. However, just to give an overview of what we've been up to in the last few months, as well as doing all the cool customer bikes and all the stuff that we like to do, we've actually gone racing again. So we've actually tried to get back out on track. And the way that we've done that is to go hooligan flat track racing. We believe we're one of the first, if not the first guys to be putting an R9T hooligan flat track racer out on track. We're doing that with the DTRA, which is the National Championship for Flat Track Racing in the UK. And basically what you need to do is take an R9T, take the front brakes off, and see how quickly you can go around on dirt in a circle. This was, I'm sure you probably recognise it, one of our track bikes. There is a whole bigger story to go that's going to go into the work Rennen video, but effectively it wasn't going to be used as with a track bike anymore, and we thought, well, it's here, it's paid for, let's use it for something fun, let's actually go racing. And the way that you can work with hooligan flat track racing is that you can really go and do a lot of racing for a very, very modest amount of money. And to be honest, just having time for Stu and I to debrief, ride some bikes, have some fun, meet some new people and see some new places was cool too. So big, fat, flat, wide bars need to go on it. All the front brakes have come off, so as you can see, we've taken the front calipers off, we've taken the front master cylinders off. There's nothing here on the front that's going to be able to stop you. It's back brakes only. On top of that, you want to basically strip away everything. You need to treat this as a race bike. That means that we've taken obviously got the airbox and everything's removed. We've had to squat the suspension back down. So when you do the track racing, you're up tall, you want to be pivoted on the front. With flat track, you want to squat the rear end down, where you want to be able to get as much of your weight and traction into the rear wheel, because obviously it's loose and it's trying to go everywhere in order to drive you forward. So thankfully there are some other products such as the BMW OEM tracker rear end that we've been able to put on there. We've got the PCC scoop on there. So yeah, other than that, look out for us. We're going to be doing some of the flat track races for this season. There is one more round. It's in September. It's on the weekend of the 17th and 18th up at Greenfield, near sort of Scunthorpe, Lincolnshire way. Do try and come out to that if you can. It's the last race of the season. We're going to be racing on the Saturday. It's free entry, and because it's the last round of the season, George and all the guys at Greenfield and some of the guys at DTRA and Sideburn are putting on a party. There are going to be all sorts, from kids' electric bike rides to falconry to racing. It's going to be nuts. It's going to be great fun. So come out and see us if you can, if you're local away for that point. Whilst we're on the point of events, we're also going to be doing a couple of other events that weekend. On that weekend, we're going to be going to Goodwood Revival as well on the Sunday. So come and find us. We're with Jamie and Mark at Bearburn Distribution. They're going to have loads of the cool Age of Glory gear that we collab with. Loads of other brands such as Kaito, Eudoxie and such. And some very exciting new products of theirs hopefully too. That's going to be at the Revival. We'll be there Sunday, but come down all weekend. The guys have got a set-up shop there all weekend. And on top of that, we're also doing an event the following weekend at Barnstormer at Maidenhead BMW dealership. We're going to be taking quite possibly this bike, along with, we think we're going to get the PC18 there. We might take the Midnight Racer there. We're going to try and get maybe one other build there as well. Just take a whole host of R9Ts and stuff, and we're going to do a real sort of heritage retro day with those guys. So that's on the 24th of September. So hopefully we'll see you there. The website, here we go. So up until the Bike Shed show, everything is about getting the bikes ready, all the logistics sorted. Post Bike Shed show, everything's about having a tidy up and making sure that we're signing up new builds, new spreadsheets and such. So the website does get a bit slim pickings. It kind of goes fade to the background a little bit. However, we are really, really pleased to say that we've now got our new PCC Scoop as featured on the Green Electrum and Midnight Racer up on our website. 2 different versions, one for the 14 to 20 and one for the 21 onwards. Both are now available. They've got the BMW style kidney lid on the front. They're very, very easy to fit. You will need to take the tank up in order to do it, but we do have tutorials on the website and on the YouTube channel in order to help you do that. So we're really pleased with this. Obviously, we mentioned at the beginning of the year that we were going to be doing more of our own parts. This is something that we've wanted to do for a very long time. It sort of narrows the tank and everything here. It fits beautifully well with the bike, and they're available for retail now. On top of that, it has been slim pickings, as I say, but we've also loaded some of the new BMW seat cals. So we're now allowed to load some BMW parts to the website. The bigger range will be coming once we get a little bit of time over the winter. Most importantly for us, again, the seats and the seat cals that you saw on the Electrum and the Midnight Racer at the show are now available on the website. They come in brown seat and black seat and with a cowl ready to paint. They're a really, really nice way of slicking and tidying up the rear end of the bikes. They fit really well with the 3-in-1 rear end that we normally fit, and plenty of other tail tidies too. So they're also on there. We know that there's a few bits in the pipeline from Unit Garage. There are some new R18 parts. There are some new R9T parts that are just landing. All of those will be featured and loaded in the September diary. There we go, that was August. Plenty to talk through about everything in the workshop. We're now going to go and try and crack on and get some more stuff done before our next video diary comes out in September. Make sure you go onto the website, piercitycustom.com. As we mentioned before, plenty of new parts coming along. We've got some real special stuff that we know about that's coming out in September too, so keep an eye on that. Socials, emails, subscribe to. Sometimes we do give sort of quick heads ups to the people who have subscribed to our emails on new parts that have landed and stuff, so it's definitely worth sticking onto there. Anything else you want to say?
I think that's it. Just keep an eye on the events. We'll update you on the socials on that, and that's it.
Cool.
See you then.
Next time.
Welcome to this week's... Hello and welcome to this month's workshop walk around. We've got lots of goodies, lots of fun things for you to go look. Start again.